You're listening to The Bird Bath. Welcome back to The Bird Bath. Each week we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. Our kickoff story this week is a $300 million strategic partnership. Mashura, which is the company that a lot of us know as the business behind CUBEX in the veterinary space, or Zimbus in the dental industry, has announced a $300 million strategic partnership with a newly formed financing vehicle sponsored by Warburg Pincus. Warburg Pincus, as you might know in the vet space, or any industry, is a massive private equity firm. And they're also in the veterinary consolidation world, as many are, with their investment in BondVet. The CEO of Mashura, Anton Visser, put out a statement saying this partnership unlocks an exciting new opportunity for Mashura, allowing us to innovate, expand, and drive continued success. The support from Warburg Pincus is invaluable, and we look forward to leveraging their decade-long experience in healthcare and financing strategies. The expectation is what a lot of this capital goes to, right? Growth. The idea here, from what I can tell, is that this $300 million is going to be used to expand not only the North American and U.S. footprint, but the international footprint. You might have seen recently, CUBEX announced some more growth that they did in Europe. And so I would expect to see their inventory management systems rolling out even further across the globe. Our next story comes with a fun and special interview. We're talking about Serenity Vet. They've announced the launch of their Relief platform, which uniquely combines a marketplace connecting veterinarians with employers and a business suite featuring financial planning tools for both. We sat down with the Serenity Vet co-founder for a Bird Bath exclusive. So today we are joined for a very fun and exclusive interview with the co-founder and chief veterinary officer of Serenity Vet, Andrew Ciccolini. Andrew and I actually worked together in the past, so it's always fun to have fellow team members on the podcast. But Andrew, why don't you give us a little bit of a piece about what's going on, what's Serenity Vet, and what's the differentiator of what you guys are bringing to the space?
Yeah, Ryan, first, good to see you again. Thanks for having me on to talk about Serenity Vet. It's a newer relief vet platform that creates a marketplace for both veterinary clinics and veterinarians to connect and fill shortages within veterinary practices so that they can get the coverage they need and relief vets can get the employment they need to make the income that they want. What makes us a little bit different is we try to be pretty balanced and fair to both sides of the market. We want to help veterinary clinics in understanding, what they can afford to pay relief vets. And we do that through a profitability calculator where we help them understand their financials and what they can afford to pay a vet. And then on the veterinarian side, we create a competitive marketplace where they can seek out the right compensation for them and their needs, as well as we have some customizations for them to help them manage their business and make it as simple as possible for them to transition into that market.
Awesome. And so, because I know there are a handful of relief veterinary groups out there, some that like to go into Facebook groups that they're not supposed to be in, some that don't. I know the nice thing is that you are a veterinarian, so it's great to see veterinarians at the helm of these organizations. I was reading in a press release thing from Indeed saying that veterinarians are the number one job ranked by Indeed. They have the most listings per million jobs total. They have an incredibly high potential salary. Where does relief work sort of fit into that scope?
Yeah, and I think I totally agree with Indeed. It's a great job. We've certainly had our stresses over the years, but I think we really think about it. Being a veterinarian is pretty awesome. And relief work is just kind of one aspect of what you can do as a veterinarian. And to me, that's my favorite part of the job is you can reinvent yourself and do all kinds of different things. And so relief work is one of your opportunities, whether that's just as part-time, I just want to work an extra shift here or there, or if you're considering as a full-time career and just doing relief work and having full control over your schedule and only working when and where you want.
Awesome. And so you guys are rolled out across the US. You've got a lot of practices already and a lot of DVMs already on the platform working with you. I jumped on the website and played around with the calculator a little bit because I always find that fun. What was kind of the impetus to put maybe some of the financial pieces sort of in the forefront of what people were looking at when they were trying to do this work?
Yeah, I think it was a couple reasons. Like the profitability calculator, for one, in our opinion, helps both sides of the market. Because on the clinic side, a lot of veterinary clinics don't really understand their financials super well. And so we wanted to help them out. And on the veterinarian side, they might think, well, oh, that's just trying to help them pay us as little as possible. But I actually think it does the opposite. Because if a veterinary clinic doesn't really understand what they can pay someone and afford to pay them, they're going to try to get away with paying as little as possible. At least that's what I would do, right? If I don't know, that I can afford to pay someone more, I'm going to try to preserve my income. So we think that really helps both sides. And another key we have on the clinic side is they have full control over the prices that they post. We don't dictate it to them. They get to decide. And so that profitability calculator really helps them do that.
That's awesome. And so when people want to check out more, where do they need to go to learn more about what you guys do?
You can just go to serenity.vet.
Easy enough. Well, Andrew, thank you again. Always great seeing you, and best of luck with the new business. As always, I really enjoy getting to take the time to sit down with people, especially those that I've had a chance to work with really closely before, and see what's going on and keep up to date on what's going on in the industry. If there's something that you want to hear covered on the Bird Bath, be sure to reach out. So much of the news that I bring you all comes from people that I know, people that ask me to talk about a story, people that send me press releases and updates and everything like that. So please let me know what's going on and let me know what you want to keep hearing about. Our next story is about Mixlab, the veterinary pharmacy. They are on a string of acquisitions. They've acquired the Pet Apothecary, which is a Wisconsin-based local pet pharmacy, and then the veterinary business side of SBH Medical, which is an Ohio-based compounding pharmacy. They have a lot of the same backers with Vantera Ventures. Plus, they were also joined by Plus Capital. I looked through both of those companies' portfolios and some really interesting and incredible things in those portfolios. Companies that a lot of you know, use, expect, or have participated with. And so be sure to check those out. But the thing that really surprised me about this story, none of the financials were released, but they did talk about some of the ideas of where this is going and where they want to see. And over the past 18 months, we have seen massive growth from Mixlab. They are expanding their footprint. They opened a new lab in Florida in 2023. They bought Next Gen out of Texas last year. And Milwaukee now is going to be their third new lab. And as I said, second acquisition in 18 months. They've also expanded their footprint. I know that they were hiring some incredible talent recently, and they're working really hard to keep up to demand. So now they've got 5 labs. They've got New York, California, Florida, Texas, and obviously now Wisconsin. The goal here of this Milwaukee lab is to serve as a hub, allowing them to provide same-day delivery for pet prescriptions to select markets in the surrounding area by 2025. So congratulations to all parties, the whole team at Mixlab, who I think very highly of, as well as the Pet Apothecary and the veterinary side of SBH Medical. Hope you all have a long and fruitful partnership. Finally, on the news here is a request from the FDA. The FDA is soliciting public comments on the use of cannabis-derived products in veterinary medicine. They put out a RFI, request for information, looking for comments from the public, and they did note particularly veterinarians related to the use of CBD in animals. The focus is on, as we said, CBD products and other products derived from hemp. The FDA is interested in general trends associated with these products, such as information about the usage, quality standards, benefits, drug interactions, adverse events, safety problems, and toxicology reports. It was cool to see. I'm going to link the RFI here so that if you do have information you want to provide and participate in with the FDA, there's an online form you can fill out to get more information there. But what this did was lead me down a little bit of a rabbit hole on the non-CBD version of hemp products or cannabis-derived products, which is the products that contain THC. It's now something that 24 states, along with the District of Columbia, have legalized cannabis for recreational use, while 39 states have legalized it for medical use. So it's something that 5 years ago would have been a much smaller number, but it's continuing to grow and push on a trend here. I know in Dallas there was something we were able to vote on the legalization within the city, or I guess the decriminalization might be the correct term, but it goes directly against the state. So this is something that doesn't surprise me to see the FDA wanting to learn more about CBD or cannabis-derived product utilization. But something to note, though, is that marijuana was still the number 6 toxin for dogs, according to the Pet Poison Helpline. They put out that information last week. And although it was the number 6, it was the first year in quite a while that marijuana had dropped lower down on the list. Grapes and chocolate and those sort of things that we all know of so much we're still at the top there. But interesting to continue to see this. I know that a lot of people utilize CBD products both for their dogs as well as for themselves, and they're not a highly regulated space, which has been an issue for a lot of people when they do try to use these. I know I've experimented trying some with my dog for some of his anxiety without having to go the fluoxetine route or any of those type of routes, but a difficulty around knowing exact dosage amounts or even the concentration and quality of the product that you're giving your animals was a big thing. So really excited to see where this goes for everyone. Now, if you're like everyone else that I know in the vet med world, you are gearing up and packing your bags for your trip to VMX in Orlando, Florida later this week and into next week. It's something that I personally love. I love going to conferences and getting to see all of you and getting to see my friends and getting to see my colleagues and the people that I enjoy working with and learning more about what's happening in the industry. This year, I'm really honored and happy to be able to have the opportunity to bring 2 really cool topics to some very different stages at VMX. So the first one is on Monday at 11 a.m. I'm hosting a panel that the Bird Bath has put together. So the Bird Bath, with our media partner Full Slice Agency, has put together a panel that's called "Are We Preparing Veterinarians for Tomorrow's World?" A panel on gaps in education. The panel's going to be, hopefully, if you guys know me, I like when they get a little spicy. So we tried to bring a diverse group of people with really different ideas or different ways that they're trying to tackle what I see and what a lot of people see as some gaps in the education. So veterinary education's expanding. There's new schools and new programs, but we're wondering, and the goal of this panel is to find out if we're really preparing students for the demand of the current market. Client expectations are growing. There's lots of changes in the economy and economic spaces, as well as innovative tools. Are tomorrow's professionals ready to jump into this industry? So we've got an incredible panel here. We've got Dean Rustin Moore from The Ohio State University, as well as the president of the AAVMC. We've got Dr. Jennifer Locke, who's Veterinary Professional Relationship Director at PetVet 365, Dr. Donna Matthews-Gerald from Speculo Consulting, as well as a very incredible student, Anjali Patel, who is a DVM candidate for the class of 2025 at Texas A&M University, and she's also the marketing director for the Veterinary Business Management Association. It should be an incredible panel. I hope to bring some really interesting stuff to the stage and give you guys something to talk about and leave wondering about. I'd be remiss if I didn't take a second, though, to thank the sponsors that brought it to the stage and brought it to life. We were really thrilled and happy to be able to partner up with PetVet 365, which is a 100% fear-free certified hospital network, the only 100% fear-free certified group in the country. Instinct Science, which is the leading veterinary software, including digital whiteboards, treatment sheets, patient safety warnings, built-in plums, live invoice auditing, and so much more. Olympic Veterinary, who's the leading manufacturer in precision equipment to transport, examine, and treat companion animals. As they say at Olympic, each table is thoughtfully designed to save time and space, help prevent injuries, and support a wide range of clinical needs. And finally, our latest sponsor to join the table here is Serenity Vet. As we talked about with Dr. Andrew Ciccolini earlier, Serenity Vet is where veterinary expertise and cutting-edge technology come together to create an easy-to-use business suite for relief veterinarians and clinics. Now, I know that was a long one, but there is one other incredible talk, and it's something that if you know me, you know I get excited about. But this topic is with a very dear friend of mine, Dr. Audrey Weistrach. Audrey and I are going to be talking about what the team at Revamp, which is a program to be able to drive, attract, and retain top talent in the veterinary industry, brought together with the incredible folks from Zoetis. Audrey and I are sitting down, or standing up probably. If you know me, I like to move. We are going to be talking about innovate to elevate, technology your practice is missing. It's not just going to be pointing at screens and telling you all those things, but we're actually going to be presenting you some different phases of technology, the ability to be able to explore, find out what technologies really your practice needs to move into the future, as well as digging into the change management that's going to be instrumental in making sure that it's successful. The topic's going to be on Wednesday morning. It's a 6:30 a.m. breakfast session. So if you like breakfast, come. If you like technology, come. If you like breakfast and technology, you better be there. Again, it's presented by Zoetis, and I'm super excited to be bringing that one to you guys on the stage on Wednesday morning. Now, I know that's a busy week, but there's tons more. Next week's episode is going to be all live from the floor at VMX, digging into everything going on. So be sure to stay tuned to this episode, that, and our Substack and all the other things. And for more on these and other stories, join us by subscribing to our Substack. There's a link in the bio, and don't miss out on any episodes by subscribing and rating the show. For The Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.